Hi there. Welcome to Secret Places in the Open Air. I'm your host, Ivan Taprod. Tonight's show is our New Year 2025 predictions show. And my first prediction is something bad. Or at least it's something bad if you are a baby boomer like me. My first prediction for 2025 is that a good portion of the baby boom generation is going to be excreted by the great anus of time. Like a rat migrating down the digestive system of a python, the baby boom generation slowly moves down the intestinal tract of U.S. history until it will finally be excreted by the great anus of time. Pretty gruesome, isn't it? But don't worry. It's only going to get worse. Because of the election of Donald Trump, liberals are going to go crazy. They are going to pick their noses, talk like robots, and they're going to go crazy. Liberals in the USA started going crazy.
It's the end of the world,
They said.
The coastline will be flooded due to global warming.
The American tradition as a land of freedom will be made a mockery.
greedy corporate interests will eat our planet alive.
It's going to be awful. It might even end in nuclear war.
Americans are going to hate Americans like never before.
And there won't be any more gun-free zones.
You won't be able to trust the ingredient labels on the side of cereal boxes.
Really?
Asked other liberals.
Yes, it's true. The FDA, USDA, and EPA will be made dysfunctional. Nobody will import American food. Without illegal immigrants working our meatpacking plants, without reliable food safety certification, with foreign countries no longer buying American, with American citizens eating poisonous food and breathing poisonous air, the forthcoming nuclear holocaust will be embraced as a cathartic relief to the toxicity of our own planet.
Yep, it's going to be that bad. But don't forget the conservatives. In 2025, the conservatives are going to be just as bad. They are going to demonize people, especially women.
The women are coming. And you better watch out. They aren't like us. Their menstrual cycles synchronize automatically, and they can have babies. Or at least some of them can. They are coming to make all men into their slaves. They are relentless in their desire to subjugate. And they will not stop until we men do what we are told.
Conservatives and liberals are going to whine and complain and nitpick and try to make our lives miserable in 2025. Fortunately, we common sense, ordinary people will ignore them. We will instead focus on things of beauty, things that we can appreciate. For example, big-bottomed girls. Honey wants to dance on bubbles. Whoops. That's better. That's right. Big bottom girls become more popular in 2025. But that's not to say that they weren't popular in the past. For example, check out the big bottoms and wagging tails in this 1931 video.
Music is a part of swag. Without music, there maybe wouldn't even be such a thing as swag. But if you took away the swag, there would still be music. There would still be love. There might even still be dance steps. And when you add a little swag to your dance steps, you add a special kind of energy, a special kind of love, and a special kind of pride. Music and swag are like song and dance. They step in time together, but they are not the same.
Speaking of swag, the way that swag works is going to change in 2025. Music will no longer have anything to do with swag. The only thing that will matter is money. There won't be any swag without money. Money will be the sole impetus of swag, and money depends on sales.
And the name of the game is sales. It's buying and selling. It's making deals. The lights of the city are turned on by money. The billboards and signs are turned on by money. Media acts in the name of money. The images, logos, and sales pitches are all about money. And then a green mutant comic book character emerges from those very same sales pitches. A blues musician blows his trumpet. A man cautions you to keep your secrets, and a woman looks at you from the stairs.
Because of our new way of thinking about money and status and swag, it's going to be okay to be crazy in 2025. Liberals will call President Trump crazy. Then Trump will retaliate in kind. He'll call the liberals crazy. But it'll be okay. Nothing to worry about. No big deal. Here is a retold cartoon about an old guy who thinks he's Sigmund Freud. This old guy really is crazy. But it's okay. It's okay.
The toys cheer. The little black baby dolls are going to sing. The ego has triumphed over the id. Eros is alive and well. But this guy is crazy. He's not Sigmund Freud. His toys aren't really alive.
Oh, red-headed baby, oh, red-headed baby, oh, red-headed baby, be mine. Red-headed baby, red-headed baby.
But it's okay that he's crazy. love is in the air. And sometimes it's okay to be crazy.
Lots of things are going to be okay in 2025. That's because people will not be judged by their character. They will be judged by their economic and social status. Even ridiculous people, even people who are as ridiculous as a fat man who rides a donkey in his underwear.
This king likes to ride a young donkey and to wear only his underpants. Only a young donkey is able to recover after bearing the weight of this portly king. Everybody loved the king. They had to, or else the king's knights were dogs.
But where's the queen?
The queen?
The queen.
The queen!
The queen.
The queen!
The queen.
The queen!
The queen.
The queen! The queen!
The queen's courtiers were also dogs.
Oh, the queen!
Yes, it's true. In the United States, totally crazy people will be accepted and tolerated as long as they have sufficient economic and social status. And on the world stage, psychopathic dictator wannabes will flourish in 2025. But it's going to be okay. These dictators, or wannabes, or crazy psychopaths, they're just people with money or high social status. That's all. No big deal. It's okay.
Everybody wants to be king, and it is that aspiration that separates men from machines. Men dream to say yes when the world says no. Yet the lone pawn can never be more than a pawn. The dream to be king can only be realized by coming together into larger groups and organizations so that the appointed leader can claim the prize. And I, mighty Zimrod, am that leader. I will silence independent thought. I will crush independent human aspirations and turn them into aspirations for me. I will control the oil fields, subdue all of nature, until I am the one lone keeper of the dreams of humanity.
But even though almost anything that crazy billionaires and dictators do in 2025 will be brushed off as, who cares? That's okay. No problem. He's just rich or crazy, that's all. Subversion will not be tolerated, and censorship will be used to stop subversion in its place.
The murals express opinions. The murals express hopes. They are deeply and perennially subversive. They mock the powerful and the self-possessed. They cast the devil in the role of facilitator. They celebrate eccentricity, and they commend fresh ways of seeing. They lead us to imagine the possibilities of imagination. They remind us of the joy to be found in play. The surface of things is only the surface, they say. Beyond the surface, there is so much more. The glory of God is hidden in plain sight, and the subversive call of the murals is to ordinary people. It is a call to adults to become like children. It is a call to reach out and touch the unseen.
The censorship of outdoor murals will not be legally mandated in 2025. Censorship will be voluntary. Here is an example of voluntary censorship from the past by Disney Studios. Part of this scene from the original 1928 Steamboat Willie was voluntarily cut in later Disney releases of the same work, probably because Disney did not want to offend people.
The modern Mickey Mouse wouldn't even think to do things like pull pigs' tails. Nor would modern Mickey play a nursing sow's nipples like an accordion keyboard. Later versions censored this scene. The piglets seemed to be enjoying the music, though, and so did 1928 audiences. And even now, 2024, this cartoon is still able to make audiences laugh.
In 2025 in the United States, voluntary censorship will be everywhere. Endemic. People will avert their eyes from the crackdown on illegal aliens. News organizations will voluntarily quash important news stories in order to not offend important news sources, such as government officials. Right now, people are sick of politics. In 2025, people will become sick and desensitized to talk about global warming, even though it will continue to be talked about incessantly, with every record-breaking temperature, every violent and record-breaking storm. Serious discussions on global warming, on its science, and on its sociological, economic, and environmental implications will be voluntarily censored, as will more sensational predictions like those in the following video. Not because the government does not want us to see what is happening, but because we don't want to see what is coming.
You just never know when an Antarctic ice shelf might break off and float out to warm waters, causing the oceans to rise and continents to shrink. Poor Amsterdam. You were such a beautiful city. So clean, so industrious, so open to the virtue of trade and the free exchange of ideas. Poor Venice. Your Grand Canal, with its graceful gondolas, may not have at times smelled so good, but you were unique. A treasury of history and art and tales of romance. Goodbye, Miami Beach. Goodbye, Manhattan Island in New York City. Goodbye, you scenic islands and peninsulas on the Mediterranean Sea.
In 2025, USA Christians, the very same people, for heaven's sakes, who tried to censor science in the past, will become ardent environmentalists. They will say that God is pissed off, totally pissed off, at us for ruining his planet, for killing species, warming the oceans, dumping poisons and plastic everywhere. They will predict that Jesus will return soon and that God will punish those unrepentant sinners who have destroyed God's creation.
Someday, a trumpet will sound. The clouds will open. 100 million angels will sing. Each blade of grass, each mold spore, each paramecium, each insect with its tiny wings, each elephant, each whale, each mouse in its field. They will all look heavenward, toward their Creator, and they will all know in that same instant that the celestial order has been restored, that mankind, which had been given the sacred and holy responsibility of dominion over all of the earth, is no longer in charge, and must now stand in judgment, each man and each woman alone, the dead and the living alike, to account for their individual actions and for the actions of their people and for the actions of their species, with their all-knowing Creator serving as prosecutor and judge.